Good afternoon, everybody. Just got the steers fed. Days like today, try to feed them a little bit later in the day just because of how hot and humid it was. They don't necessarily like to get out of their shade over there and go eat. And I don't blame them, and I want to help them out as best I can. I still need to get that fly spray out here on them, maybe the oiler. Maybe give them some pour on or something. I had a little bit of a bunk malfunction. I'll throw that clip in here. My bunk here is clearly getting destroyed, so I'm gonna have to see what we can do about that. I need to get used to talking to the camera again. In the last couple videos I've done, been a little bit different than my traditional walking while I'm feeding. I don't think you need to be worried about what the market's gonna do in recent months. I mean, if you're a big feedlot, I mean, this channel's probably not for you. I mean, let's just be real. If you're a big feedlot and you have, investor money behind you, this channel's probably not for you. We are talking about family operations, family ranches, family feeders. Those ones that are built on the backs of, our ancestors, our grandparents, our family legacy started, or those people who want to start that family legacy, something that they can pass on to the next generation, or even just those people who want to have a little small homestead, maybe grow it to a bigger homestead someday, just so they can grow their own food, know where your food comes from. I think that's very important. There seems to be a push of knowing where your food comes from, and I think that's amazing. I think we need to continue to push that. It's unreal how much processed junk is in our food in the stores. And I started even catching myself, I've been trying to get better at it. After my weight loss journey, I'd say my diet was a lot better, and I tracked my macros and things like that. It just was the best way for me to do it. It just made sense for me. Being a numbers person, it's what I liked. And I catch myself even now looking at some of the things that I used to, even just a year or two ago, think was healthier. And it's like, wow, that protein bar, it's got some protein in it, killed some of my cravings, but that's got a lot of processed junk in it. Can I not just get back to the point where I'm eating, meat, vegetables, fruit, grains, whole grains, literally taking some actual old-fashioned rolled oats and eating that for oatmeal, not even the minute oats. Don't even get me started with cereal. We're not throwing that in the diet at all. All that whole grain cereal, heart healthy, it's all a big ploy. We have too much grain in our diets as American. We have way too many, and it's not even the grains are bad. It's just the quantity we're eating is bad. And it's all the modified junk that's in that. That's not even the same. If you go overseas like Italy where they make bread, you'll probably eat their bread and be like, wow, I don't feel bloated. My gut inflammation is not there. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole on this rant. Knowing where your food comes from, how important it is so important. If you have any questions about that stuff, I'm definitely not an expert, but I'm learning so much more about gut health. Growing up on a dairy, I didn't realize how good it was to drink that, raw milk, that gut microbiome that is in your gut. How strong that is when you drink that, raw milk, the fermented foods, the gut bacteria build up and it flourishes. And I didn't realize how strong that was growing up. And we don't have that anymore. We don't have our milk cows anymore. But at the same time, I don't miss those chores. That was a lot of work. Just get to a point where you know where your food comes from. You don't even have to grow all your beef. Do I want you to with this channel? Yes. I want to prove you can make these 3 steers right here, profitable direct consumer beef business. And as far as growing your own beef, it's the same thing we're doing right here. I want to prove that you can do that, have a profitable homestead, a profitable family operation. But if you can't do that at the moment, find a local neighbor, find somebody in your area that can provide that for you. We buy our eggs from a neighbor. We have our beef, we buy our eggs from a neighbor. Chicken, we haven't been buying nearly the amount of chicken that we used to when we lived in the city for those couple years. And I would try to find, somebody who has some butcher chickens and who raises them and just go that route. It's just all the processed junk. When you look at chicken breasts and you buy in the store, you ever notice they have like those little holes in them. You know, they squirt preservatives in that, and then they sell it to you by weight. Like, you are buying preservatives. I mean, you are buying the chicken, but you're also buying extra weight from preservatives. There is so much junk in the food that we have, even the good foods. Eggs, you know how they say cage free? That doesn't mean that they're free range. Free range is completely different. Free range means, you know, they're walking around on grass and they're probably eating grasshoppers and bugs and all that stuff. And they probably even have a way to get around that too. But cage free just means they're in a big building and they're not shoved in these little tiny cages. They're just shoved in these big rooms, and then they're squished in there as well. I'm not going to go down the route and say that's, you know, horrible. I'm just going to say it's not what you probably think it is if you don't know where your food comes from. If you don't know these things, it's a marketing ploy to get you to think what you're buying is better. When they put protein on like the granola bars that have literally like 3 or 4 grams of protein in, and then there's like, you know, 40 carbs and there's 20 to 30 of it is, you know, added sugar or corn syrup. Like, come on now. That's not good for you. It says protein on it and there's no protein. There's literally no protein. And when you have so much vegetable oil being your fat, yes, is avocado oil, can it be good for you? Is it debated? Yes. You know, good, healthy vegetable oils can be amazing, but you don't need a ton of them. And don't even get me started saying red meat's bad. Like, come on now. This country was built, this world was built on the backs of people who ate red meat. You know where your food comes from seems to be the topic of today. As always, if you have a question, if you have something you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. You can shoot me a message. If you're interested in the Agri Summit group, you know, making your family operation more profitable, or starting your family operation from the ground up, starting your homestead from the ground up. You know, if you have questions on that, consider joining the Agri Summit group. It's a private community. You know, everybody in there has cattle or is striving to have cattle. And it's a very supportive group. We're always adding value to it. We're working on our digital calving book app. It's become a very big project at the end here. I thought it was going to be simpler, but we're getting through it. We're always adding value, and I'm always taking feedback from the members to make it a better place, make it more valuable to you, so that, you know, your hard-earned money isn't wasted. You're getting out way more than the amount you're paying for, especially if you sign up yearly. That is an amazing deal if you ask me, but I'm biased. With that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video. God bless.